Hello and welcome to our recap of our first AEW show.
A wrestling recap. And what a fucking show to recap.
It was brilliant, wasn't it?
It was,
we are recapping AEW's Full Gear.
Best, just want to say off the bat, best PPV I've seen in a long time.
Same with me as well. I just thought there was so many segments in this pay-per-view that was it was outrageous and it's
over the top.
It's pretty much what we've kind of missed for quite a while.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you ever was a big ECW fan, but I was. I kind of missed that kind of level of violence in a way.
I never really watched a lot of ECW. I have caught up on some things on the network, but I think it was quite tame. Even by their standards at the time. And I've seen the odd little video on YouTube from some videos, from sections in Japan, with their death matches and stuff.
Yeah.
And I just thought, that's absolutely crazy.
Remind me one time we'll have to have a day. I have a stack of ECW DVDs this week,
Oh, yeah.
including one signed by the man, Le Champion, Chris Jericho.
So, we're going to start off with the pre-show. Now, I didn't watch the pre-show. I was... fast asleep. So I'm going to leave Ray to talk about the pre-show.
Yeah, well, I actually called it the pre-show because I've got it set up on Sky to record, and it came up Full Gear pre-show, so I thought, why the hell not? The pre-show, what I found interesting about the pre-show is the commentators. You had Taz there.
Yes, I know Taz only tends to do like the opening sections now there, doesn't he? He's not a main commentator.
But I thought, with Taz being there, I thought, hey, Full Gear, Taz.
Yeah.
Colour commentary as Taz ever does. But I was kind of disappointed when it got to the pre-show. It was no Taz.
You mean the main show? No.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
I think it would go well with Excalibur and JR.
Yeah, I mean, I think Taz, he honed his craft in WWE, didn't he, to do that?
It's like a more... he came into it more when... I think Jerry Lawler was on hiatus for a while.
Yeah.
He fell out with the WWE because they fired his then girlfriend, the Cat.
Yes. That was... Yeah.
And I think he brought a Jerry the King style talk to it, like sucking up to the boss.
Yeah.
Praising the heel, as well as some of the other kind of stuff to it.
Yeah, but I don't think he was. I don't think he was as Jerry Lawler as Jerry Lawler, was he?
There was Jerry Lawler.
There was no. What can we say about the way that he spoke about a lot of women in there and things like that?
Well, that's
it. The puppies and everything. It was
sign of the times.
Yeah, he kind of evolved a little bit from there. But I love listening to Taz on commentary, and I'm gonna have to go back and watch the pre-show because I do enjoy Taz's work.
The pre-show wasn't too bad. I mean, there was 25 minutes to half an hour on video packages for Young Bucks, Santana on Ortiz, Moxley. Omega. That was mainly most of the pre-show.
Right.
They only had one match, really, and that was Bay Priestley versus Dr. Britt Baker.
Okay.
Not a bad match, not a brilliant match. Started off a little bit sloppy in parts. I think it was Britt Baker went for a move and completely missed it, but Priestley took the fall. When I say wasn't massively moved like some of the stuff you see where they're on the floor and then they decide to fall back kind of stuff. It was minor.
Right.
But I think that might have been more the camera angle catching it.
Okay.
If you sat in the crowd, you might not have caught that.
Right.
But other than that, that was mainly it, and it had Darby Allin watching from ringside.
Right. Okay.
Again, Darby Allin was not on the pay-per-view.
No.
I thought he'd make some kind of entrance with him being sat at ringside, kind of like Rock and Roll Express did.
Yeah.
Got tickets, they're gonna sit there, that kind of thing.
Right.
But yeah, that again, it was kind of just there, but not mentioned again afterwards.
Right. Okay. So it was mainly just like a bit of a warm-up match, because that's what the pre-show relatively is, isn't it? But it wasn't anything special. It was just enough to get the crowd going.
There was a good move by Britt Baker. Really, really impressive brainbuster. Yeah, and
it's one of my favourite moves in
brainbuster
in wrestling. Yeah, I do love the brainbuster.
It was a really impressive move, but Dr. Britt picked up the win with a lockjaw afterwards.
That's a submission, isn't it?
It's kind of almost what they used to call the rings of Saturn.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, appropriately named for a dentist as well.
Yeah. And then she puts like mandible claw move on.
Yeah. It's quite a unique finisher. I do like that.
Yeah, but something that did happen afterwards, which was I wasn't expecting. Awesome Kong made an appearance.
Right, the former Karma in WWE.
Yes, Awesome Kong made an appearance with Brandy Rhodes.
All right.
Came down and absolutely fucking destroyed Brie Priestley.
Right.
Bea Priestley. I can't say the word.
Bea Priestley.
That's the one.
That's the one. Okay.
Absolutely destroyed her in the ring. I mean, Britt had gone off.
Right.
And she was in the ring recovering and whatever. And Awesome Kong just came out and annihilated her. I don't know what Awesome Kong calls it now, but she used to, in WWE when she was camera, it was the implant buster. When she picks them up like that and falls forward.
Right.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not very aware of a lot of her work, to be honest.
No, but she did a finisher. Her and Brandy kind of stood there for a minute. And then Kong pulls out a knife. Yeah, it's a bit weird where this is going, isn't it? Pulls out a knife. Brandy turns over Bea Priestley and yeah. And then Kong stood in the ring smelling it. That was it, and then they bugger off. That was more or less the end of the pre-show, with a couple more video packages. But
okay.
Yeah, your expression exactly how I was when I was watching it. What the hell? But it's not like a little knife. It was one of these, curved things. And Kong's like flipping it in her hand and stuff like that. I was like, is she gonna kill someone in the ring? What the fuck is going on?
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then
we don't promote knife violence, but neither should they. Really, should they?
It was bizarre. I was like, oh, it's just one of those things. Brandy's gonna stop her using the knife. No, Brandy rolled her over.
Kind of promoted it.
Yeah, Brandy rolled her ass over,
oh, God.
held up the hair, and then Kong cut it.
Wow.
I was like, seriously, find it on YouTube and then just sit and kind of think how I was going. What the fuck am I watching?
Jesus, right. No.
So I don't know where that's going, but it'll be interesting to see.
A hair versus hair match.
Well, especially when Priestley came out as the heel.
Yeah.
And then Kong came out as practically the heel.
Yeah.
And then the heel cuts the other heel hair. It wasn't. See, if
they're trying to turn one face and try and
maybe they were trying to turn Priestley face, but not really easy to do when Britt Baker's quite over.
No, but they can always push Britt Baker into a different direction.
Yeah, I mean, in the match, Britt Baker was doing the regular heel thing out the ring, and all that kind of stuff. So wasn't going face. And
okay.
Maybe that was the point where they can turn around and say, "Well, this is what we're gonna have to do to make her face."
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't know. I don't know where that's going, but interesting to watch.
Right.
Really.
Excellent. Right. So the first. Was it the first match of
It was the first match, the tag team match.
Yeah.
Which was brilliant.
And that was the Young Bucks versus
Santana and Ortiz. Powerful. Pride and Powerful.
Pride and Powerful. And I really enjoyed this match.
With the Rock and Roll Express at ringside.
The Rock and Roll Express at ringside.
Really
they did actually. I like it when you do get those guests.
Yeah. And we'll talk about the match before we get to the Rock and Roll Express, the bit.
Can we not just get to that now? No.
No, because there's so much to go over in this
talk
match.
about. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, they just come out. I mean, the match starts as a match, you'd think, but then breaks down very quickly.
Yeah.
Absolutely very quickly. Lots of double teams, lots of high spots, and just one of those things where you just don't know who's going to attack who from anywhere.
No.
But we do have to talk about Ortiz's selling. When he sold some of those moves, when he stood there and did like the freaking silly salmon, and then
that super kick, that was hilarious, and it was like you said, I'd say it was like a combination between the silly salmon and how Ric Flair would sell something by just wobbled and then just fell face first on the floor.
It was so funny.
And it was so brilliantly done.
I remember watching it and just absolutely stitching myself.
Yeah.
up. I was impressed.
I even remember watching like on afterwards on Twitter. It was actually trending. It was trending, and it was a little video at the top, and it said, "No one sells a super kick like Ortiz. He's wobbling, bang on the floor," and then And then they showed it again and again and again. I thought,
But
you're not going to get bored of this.
There wasn't only that though. Ortiz did another brilliant one where he did a bit of a combination and then finished it with like a silly salmon diving headbutt. And he just lay there on him like that. It was just his head on him. He just lay there like he's a big pillow.
It's still a pinning predicament though.
His head was on him, the shoulders were
Yeah,
on him. It's a pin.
Yeah, he could have a little finger on him, but you know.
I've seen that before in a match. I can't remember where, but I have seen someone go like that and pin somebody.
Yeah.
I can't remember where. Probably old WWE, but Ortiz is selling and his daft freaking diving headbutt pin.
Yeah.
That guy cracked me up.
Oh, yeah.
And then the next thing you know, he's chewing the ropes, looking all crazy in front of the ring and gets kicked in the back of the head.
Yeah, I remember that. I think he had a bit of blood coming from his mouth after that as well, which you probably would, wouldn't you? I mean,
I'm liking
those cables are like, I remember someone telling me they're like old aeroplane cables.
That would be me.
And it's just wrapped in plastic or rubber, and that's it. So they are really hard to hit.
They can hurt, yeah.
So imagine having your mouth around that and then being booted into it. At least he weren't booted like downwards or upwards. He would have knocked his teeth clean out.
Yeah.
But that's not to say he couldn't knock any of his back teeth out by doing that. But
freaky jaw enough.
Oh yeah.
And then there was another big spot of the match. Matt Jackson's 5 Northern Light suplexes.
Yes.
The 3-on-1 and then 2 more with 2 people.
Yeah, I remember that double one. I've always ever seen it the other way around with 2 people suplexing one person, not one person suplex, unless that person is someone who's really, really big who can actually do it.
Well,
but with Matt Jackson being as small as he is and still managing to suplex 2 people at the same time, it's something I haven't seen before.
Well,
and I
do like his triple rolling Northern Light suplexes. I've always been a fan of Northern Light suplex. But when he did it with 2 other people on, I was like, I've not seen that before. Unless, like you say, it's a big guy doing a double one just to show off power, but it's Matt Jackson.
Yeah.
He's a small dude.
There was also a section in this match as well, and I thought it was crazy. It was kind of like a double submission, wasn't it?
Yeah, I actually took a picture of that. I've got a picture of that that's going on the video later. But it was, again, it's like a Boston Crab Dragon Sleeper double pin thing.
It was kind of like, it was like you had arch back, weren't there? But you had 3 people on top of this as well, wasn't there? And I
think it was Nick at the bottom.
Yeah.
He was in the Boston Crab, and then I know we got I think Matt got into a Dragon Sleeper kind of submission, and it's just like, that's quite good. I was impressed.
Who would win this match? You can't submit.
Well, that's it.
If one person submits, you know.
Well,
I suppose you can actually do it.
It would be too legal, but the thing is, the ref couldn't call it because the person who was legal was on the person who was legal.
Right.
The other person, it was vice versa.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So they couldn't leave it as that because it's like, well, 2 of the people aren't legal.
Yeah. Right.
So again, another brilliant match.
Yeah.
And again, one thing we gotta mention: Santana, you sick fuck. Did you recall that bit? I think it was Matt spat his chewing gum.
And then he
he
went, no, you could hear the crowd.
You sick fuck! You sick fuck! But again, the comedy level. It's not just the matches that are brilliant. It's there's not a lot of comedy constantly through it. It's little spurts of it.
Yeah, definitely.
Make the match so much more entertaining and so much more funny.
Yeah.
And it went well with the way the characters were. The cockiness and things like that. Well, maybe not the silly salmon acting to the cockiness, but hell, it was a silly salmon drop.
It was brilliant, though, wasn't it, this match?
Yeah. And now we get to the end, because the Rock and Roll Express did a fucking Canadian destroyer. Well,
we've got to get the result first.
Fuck the result. We're skipping to that bit.
The result was
Pride and Powerful.
Pride and Powerful. Yeah, they won the match. But then
the result, the fucking Canadian. Well, not Canadian.
They went out, didn't they? They were talking to the Rock and Roll Express. They kind of like pissed them off. And you ended up getting in the ring. And
the guy's like nearly 70.
Yeah, pulled off a destroyer, and then
the
fucking suicide dive.
Yeah.
a suicide dive. I think Matt and Nick Jackson just opened up the ropes and he just went straight through, suicide dive, straight through the middle of the rope. And I'm thinking, this is fucking awesome.
I was sat watching it at home, and when I saw the Destroyer, I was just like, holy shit! Holy shit! I'm sat at home chanting in my account, holy shit!
And it's like,
holy shit!
It's like, what else can... You wouldn't have expected the suicide dive afterwards, though, would you? You would have expected that move and that's it.
Yeah, you expected to be absolutely knackered after that move. It's like, right, I'm done for tonight, boys. But
the thing is, though, like you said, they might be like nearly 70 or 60 something, like that, but they are still active in the ring, aren't they?
Yeah.
And they still do a lot of indie shows.
Yeah, I mean, I listen to... Okay, he's not a very well-received person on the internet, but Jim Cornette.
All right, yeah. He is... Marmite, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a certain type of person, but I listen to the shows because he does talk a lot about the wrestling history.
Yeah.
And I like that. When people ask the questions of the wrestling history, I'll listen to it because he is probably the ultimate fan.
Yeah, like him or loathe him, he knows what he's talking about, doesn't he?
He does indeed. And he does a lot of shows and a lot of signings, and he's done a few indie shows.
Yeah.
With the Rock and Roll Express.
Yeah, yeah.
He's still going around with them. And them guys are knocking on, and for him to pull out a move as they did, I'm quite impressed with the rage, and they can still do it. A lot of them can't do it when they get to that age.
No.
They're done by the time they're 50.
Yeah, you find that all the knees have gone, the hips have gone. I mean, all right, you can replace knees, you can replace hips, but there's certain parts of the body when you've got to have like fusion surgery and things like that. And after that's been done, it's
look at Edge. His career was massively cut short.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he lasted, 8 years after he had the...
I think so,
surgery?
yeah, it was quite a while. I know that Hulk Hogan's been going on for quite a while now, but...
he's got, 5 knee replacements.
Yeah, he can no longer wrestle due to him... it's his lower back now. This is the biggest issue.
Multiple leg drops, isn't it?
Yeah,
it takes its toll.
Well, it's his knees... because when he was younger, he never wore knee pads, and it was a very taboo thing to wear knee pads.
Yeah, he was always advised not to wear knee pads.
Yeah, because he was seen as soft, and a lot of people did, and it's really knackered his knees up. But with I think it's mainly his hip and his lower back because of the leg drops, that is one of his it's his finisher. But obviously it's not just that as well. It's the amount of times that he landed on his lower back.
Yeah. I know a few wrestlers that still don't wear knee pads.
No, and it's a stupid thing. If you are an amateur wrestler, please just wear your elbow pads, wear your knee pads.
I've got to get some.
Yeah. Well, you're fucked up anyway.
Yeah, I am. But I'm still doing it.
Yeah.
Oh,
you're gonna go back into it.
I'm gonna try again. See how long my body lasts this time. 5 minutes. 5 minutes later, call the ambulance. Right, and the next match after that, after that, I thought that was going to be a hard match to follow.
Yeah.
I really did. But then we got to Pac and Page.
And these two have pulled out a couple of good matches in the past as well.
Yeah, again, another prime example of Pac, Neville, whatever you want to call him, being massively underused in the biggest company on the planet when it comes to wrestling.
Yeah, definitely.
Massively underused. I mean, I saw him wrestle a few times in WWE, and it was just like, he's okay as a mid-card.
Yeah.
Seen him more on the indie shows, and when he's come around England and more in AEW, I was like, how the hell did they not use this guy?
Yeah.
He's a Black Arrow, he's 450 splash.
Yeah.
How did they not go crazy? This guy could.
Well, but
that's awesome.
That's a huge talking point at the moment regarding a lot of talent in WWE that have gone elsewhere to other promotions because of how WWE are just not using them correctly.
No, they tend to get him, they build him up for a bit, and then next thing you know, the mid-card in.
Yeah.
Or as an example, in my opinion, I don't think Finn Balor should have been sent back to NXT. I can see why they've done it, because he can add to NXT. But again, I think another example of somebody being massively underused on the main roster.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
He came out and had this big thing for a while, and then he just kind of...
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from, but I can also see why he has been sent back, because he is NXT.
Yeah,
he is the epitome of NXT, isn't he? He is that guy. And hopefully now he will be used just as well as he was done in NXT and used to his full advantage.
Well, if they don't and he gets annoyed, I see him doing his 90-day clause where he can't wrestle and showing up on AEW.
Well, I think it all depends on his contract negotiations as well, don't it? How long his contract had to last for as well.
Even when you leave the WWE, you've got 90 days no compete clause. So it's if he does leave and he does see out that,
if they grant him his release,
he'll be Ring of Honor or AEW.
AEW will snap him up.
Oh yeah,
anyone will snap him up, but I think AEW talent. Now it's automatically pushed itself up to the second biggest second most talked about promotion out there, and they've been going on for 6 months. Legit, just the actual
shows,
just the actual company itself.
Yeah.
Not the one-off pay-per-view that Cody sorted out, which was all in.
Well, they've been building it up for a while. They've taken, they might have been talking about it last year, but they've taken the time with it.
Yeah.
They've got the right talent. Again, this match that we're on about now, Pac and Page. Personally, I'd never heard of Page until AEW.
No, I hadn't. No.
And the more I see him, the more I think he's really good.
The first I heard of Page was when he came over to the UK to fight Pac. It was just before All Out.
Right.
And it was, I think Pac couldn't make it to that show. I think he'd double booked himself or something. I'm not sure. So what happened was Page came over and he had like a non-disqualification match, which it wasn't. Sorry, no, it wasn't. It was a match which ended in a disqualification.
Right. So this Pac and Page actually goes.
Way back
then.
So
they
have had a bit of a beef. Yeah.
But yeah, and I have noticed that Pac does like to throw people into barricades.
Who doesn't? I'd love it.
I'll throw you into a barricade later, and you can tell me then.
No. Okay.
Wuss. But yeah, lots of countering. I was surprised to see Page go for the Deadeye very early on in the match. He had him up and he was going straight for the Deadeye.
Yeah.
I thought, a bit too soon, but I can see where they're going. He wants the
You
match
see
over.
that a lot sometimes, though, don't you? You see him trying to get that early victory straight away, even though whether it's a finisher or a surprise roll-up.
Yeah. But I did like the ground-based. I like my ground-based technical wrestling and my high spots, and this match covered both.
Yeah.
It was a lot of, you'd expect nothing more from Pac. I mean, the British wrestling industry really is based on ground.
Yeah.
And a lot of mat wrestling. And someone coming from that, you'd expect nothing less.
No.
And Page, like I said, I don't know much about him, don't know his background, but he kept up with it.
Yeah.
Again, really good.
Yeah. And I love his finisher. The Deadeye.
Yeah.
I think it's brilliant. Yeah.
I kind of like the buckshot where he springs over the rope.
Yeah, but I
thought that was pretty cool.
I do like that, but I can also see it being a bit... I can get bored of that, watching that, because I find that move that as well as it's performed, it just seems to be a move, a signature move of his that is... I've seen it countered more than it actually being hit.
I think this one actually hit for a change.
Yeah, I think there was one that it didn't, but like overall, I think I've seen it more countered or dodged.
Yeah, it's a bit like Pac's Black Arrow. I think I've only ever seen that hit once or twice, and he's done it quite a few times.
Oh, I've seen it quite a few times when he was in WWE when he called it the Red Arrow. But yeah, I've seen him hit that quite a lot.
I mean, on the episode of Dynamite before this, he did actually hit the Black Arrow. He kicked out of it, which was unfortunate. But again, another great move.
Yeah.
And following a great match comes the decision, and the decision was Deadeye.
Yeah. Page
wins the match, putting a blemish on Pac's kind of undefeated draw streak. What's been going on?
Yeah.
Because he had a draw with Moxley on a Dynamite, and they were both kind of pissed off that it didn't count to either of them, and Moxley ended up hitting the ref with a paradigm shift.
That's actually one thing I wanted to say about this. It's the first time that, and I know it's happened quite a lot, but it's the first time I probably ever really took any notice of it. And it's when the announcer actually says 15 minutes remaining. And I thought that's brilliant.
Well, they don't
because
do that
they are.
I've never heard that anywhere else.
No, because they are concentrating more on this is how long it's going to be.
Yeah.
You know, you have to finish this match in a certain time, or it will be a draw.
Well, I know, like in the ring when you're wrestling, that the ref is your third man, and they'll be keeping an eye on the time. But it makes more sense if you can take that out.
Yeah,
of
and they
the
can
ref.
concentrate more on.
Well, that's it. That,
Yeah.
that leaves the 2 wrestlers and the ref to concentrate on anything else but clock watching.
Yeah, definitely.
And when you start hearing somebody else say it, it's like, right, shit, we've got 5 minutes. Let's wind it up.
Yeah, and well done, AEW.
Yeah. And just little things like that are making it stand out. A mile.
Yeah.
I can't ever recall watching TNA, WCW, any of them.
Yeah.
Were 10 minutes remaining. Unless it was
Iron Man match. Yeah, you did. Well, I don't ever recall them actually saying that, but
they had a clock on the
there's a clock on the screen, so it's always visual, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's not audible, but it's visual, and it's there, and it's a presence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next match on the AEW card was Shawn Spears with Tully Blanchard.
Yes.
Against Joey Janela.
Yep.
Joey Janela has this thing. I don't know. He's trying to prove himself that he's not just some hardcore nutball.
Yeah.
He wants to be seen as a wrestler, not just some hardcore guy. And this match, went well. It showed that he can do the things without resulting to weapons or tables and chairs. And
there was quite a few spots in this which I enjoyed. I think there was a unique spot in there which I've never seen done before, which was when Shawn Spears. He pulled off the like a bit of the protection padding off the corner buckle, just behind the corner buckle itself, and then took the rope and then tied Joey Janela's hair.
Yeah, pinned him in the corner.
And pinned him in the corner so he couldn't move. And he's struggling, he's pulling his hair, this like that.
And eventually, that, will you?
No. And eventually, he pulled his hair out, which actually left a bit of hair in the rope in the corner. And not just that, but he was wrestling for a little bit with a bit of rope in his hair, so he pulled a bit of the rope out and left a bit of hair behind. And
JR kept referencing, going, "Oh, that's sick."
Yeah, it was brilliant, really brilliantly done. And again, another talent that's come from WWE, gone straight into AEW, and he's been pushed and just used correctly instead of being some weakling and it gets attacked before he comes out of the Royal Rumble.
Especially paired up with Tully.
Yeah.
I mean, they did the spike pile driver out
that was fantastic. Yeah. And that was just before the finishing maneuver as well,
the
wasn't
C4,
it?
which is a Death Valley driver kind of move.
Yeah.
So, again, small match.
Yeah.
The guys aren't that big in that scene.
No.
But great match, which pushes them.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, and like I said, I'm really glad that that Shawn Spears or the old Ty Dillinger is again being used more than what he would be in WWE.
What I like referenced as well is, like in that match, he picked up the win. The commentators turn around saying that'll push him further up the card for a title shot.
Yes.
So whereas WWE always said that kind of thing. And
they never really did it. Oh, the future Hall of Famer, the future world champion. They've said that so many times about Cesaro, future world champion. Fucking push him.
The amount of wins that Cesaro has, he should have had a title shot.
Yeah, big
but
time.
It makes me wonder that they might just say it. And yes, we all know that wrestling is fake.
It's scripted. But it's...
You know who's going to be champion and stuff, but you've also got to wonder if people sit back and go, right, well, we told him he was going to win, but he won in a very impressive way. Let's bump him up the card a bit.
Yeah.
Whereas WWE just go, who's the biggest guy? You're champion.
Yeah.
Makes me wonder if they're sitting back and going, well, he impressed us. Let's see if he does that next week. Let's bump him up a bit. If they've actually got some kind of managerial thing backstage rather than just who's the biggest bald head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's pretty much being run by wrestlers for wrestlers, isn't it?
That's what makes it a big difference. I mean, that's why NXT differs so much from WWE.
Yeah, Triple H.
Triple H is
I'm not saying that Vince doesn't know what he's doing, but I don't think he's with the times at the moment.
Vince hasn't had a clue what to do since the 90s.
When Vince gets it right, he gets it right. It's not very often, but he gets it right.
Personally, the last thing Vince got right, in my view, was the invasion angle.
And that didn't pull off very well. No, the culmination of it all didn't pull off very well.
Great friggin' angle for months.
Yeah.
And
the pay-per-view was shit.
I don't know about you, but we didn't know, me and my friends at the time, we didn't know about this whole kayfabe crap and everything like that, because it was around 2000, 2001. We didn't read dirt sheets or anything like that. We didn't watch wrestling reviews. What we saw on screen, we were going back to when we were kids. What was going on was real. Shane showing up, WCW, and then Stephanie ECW. We were just like, wow.
I remember, like I told you, I used to watch a lot of WCW before WWE, but I did drift off from WCW and went to
the light.
I did. I went to WWF, and I remember this one night. It was on Friday nights here in the UK, with both Raw and Nitro would broadcast in the UK. One on Sky, one on TNT, just after Cartoon Network. And
that's why I never caught it. I never watched it.
It was just after Cartoon Network, yeah, because I used to watch a lot of cartoons. I love cartoons.
I never saw it. I love never watched it that much. I stopped watching Cartoon Network.
And I never turned it on. My little brother used to watch it, but anyway. But then I remember like watching this thing with Vince on one, and then he saw Shane on the Titantron, and I'm like, and he's on WCW. I'm like, these two shows actually were broadcast at the same time in the UK as well. So I switched over, and it was almost watching the same different shows. I'm like, holy shit, this is weird. Oh,
but yeah, good old wrestling days.
Yeah.
Before we knew. I mean, like I said, me and my mates didn't know anything about kayfabe. We didn't really find out until we were like 17 or something like that, when more access to the internet, more dirt sheets, more all this. We stayed away from all that.
Yeah.
So we were a case of what was going on. Was just like when we were kids. What was going on was actually real life.
My dad told me quite early, so it's fake. And
when you're
younger, it's no, he's not, Dad. He's fighting, and then you turn out. Actually, yeah, it's scripted. So
I always knew that was scripted. I knew that from a young age, but I'm more of the case of the drama bits going around it. The matches, I always knew. He was picked. He was. You know that, and I always knew what was going on. But when that came about, the purchase of WCW, and I was just like, wow, what's going on here?
Must have heard of it as well.
But yeah, brilliant. But the next match was even better. Private Party against the Lucha Bros
versus
SCU.
Now,
before we start off, we've got to talk about Rey Fenix's walking the fucking ropes before the match even began. He got in the ring and walked. Undertaker's old school's got fuck all on this guy. He ran like one side of the ring ropes, on top of the ring ropes.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy is incredible.
Now, I'm not very familiar with any of these tag teams at all, so to watch all this is quite fresh to me. AEW is quite fresh to me because I'm seeing a lot of talent out there that not only do I know from WWE and WCW, but some that I've never seen before. I mean, all right, I think Christopher Daniels was he in
Daniels.
He was in WCW, wasn't he?
I don't know if he was in WCW. I caught on to Christopher Daniels in about 2004 with TNA.
Right, it might have been that one then.
Same with Frankie Kazarian.
Right. But the Lucha Bros for me, again, I don't know much about them. What a tag team!
I've only seen them in AEW, and I've still yet to watch some Lucha from when I can find it online or anything like that. But again, watching Lucha stuff is incredible. But these guys just take it to the next fucking level.
Yeah, big time. They're amazing. They're really amazing. Some of the spots in that were just outrageous.
I mean, the monkey flip into the cannonball senton.
Yeah.
I mean, even though in Private Party they're relatively new, probably seen on a few indie circuits and that, but even they impress me a lot. And I do like the say cheese move.
Yeah.
Where he gets him in the headlock and then the other one jumps over and goes, say cheese!
Yeah. Yeah.
And the screaming that the guy does every now and then, he'll do a move and go, woohoo! Just cracks me up. Again, that little bit of comedy in a match is just brilliant.
But it's the thing that the Lucha Brothers have as well, where I can't remember what they say, but even the crowd actually.
Zero for Euro.
Yeah, even the crowd actually.
They go like that.
As soon as they say it, the crowd are actually getting into it as well. And,
it's that
yeah. But
I can't speak Spanish.
I think that out of all the tag teams at AEW at the moment, this is the one that I actually want to watch the most out of anybody.
Yeah, I mean, we've got Pentagon Jr. that is Lucha, but more of a powerhouse Lucha, and then you've got Rey Fenix that is just, well, you see him in one spot and then he's gone somewhere else.
Yeah,
like 20 feet in the air kind of shit.
So some of the moves that they pulled on the ropes, jump bouncing all over this, like you said at the beginning.
Yeah. Incredible match, and I as good as SCU are, I'm taking nothing away from Kazarian and Daniels, because again, I've always been a big fan.
Yeah, all right, yeah.
SCU is a team.
Yeah, sorry, right, yeah.
I don't know Scorpio that much, but Daniels and Kazarian I've watched for years, and I do like them. Not taking anything away from them, but I think Luchas are the better team.
Yeah, and Private Party, I don't know much about them either, and they're another tag team that I do want to watch. Maybe not as much as the Lucha Brothers, but they are, they're really good faces, aren't they?
Yeah, and then the lights going out and Christopher Daniels coming out, dressed up as Pentagon.
Yeah, that was and then they come face.
As soon as I saw the lower jaw, I was like, it's Christopher Daniels.
Well, I didn't clock on until the finishing maneuver was performed.
Well, like I said, I've watched him for years, so I can tell Christopher Daniels when he's freaking Curry Man. I don't know if you know about Curry Man.
No, I don't. But
in Japan, he's Curry Man. He just wears a mask. Speaks Japanese, and he does this curry dance and things like that. But in Japan, he's Curry Man. He's brilliant.
Okay.
I don't think he calls it the Angel's Wings though in Japan. It might be something else.
Right.
It might be like, I don't know, the Vindaloo Slam. I don't fucking know. I don't know what it's called. But yeah, as soon as you see his face, you just go, "That's
God, no way."
Vindaloo Slam, yeah. What?
But yeah, it was
copyright move.
It was
great match.
Yeah.
And again, SCU pick up the win because it was for the belts. So I can't see him taking any of the belts off any of the stuff.
No, I think you're going to try and make some people strong, and I think by just getting rid of the belts so soon, in some cases, you kind of cheapen them a little bit, or you're giving everyone a chance. But that's not to say that getting rid of passing one along so soon won't do any good. It's just that if you do that too often, it just becomes.
Yeah, well, WWE used to do it every pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't think we'll see an AEW title change either from Le Champion or the tag team or even Riho until maybe the new year. I think
we'll see one.
Do you think we'll see one?
I think we'll see one. I do think we'll see one, and I can see that being the tag team belts because there's so much. I'm not saying there's not enough talent in singles competition, but I find that the tag team it's so exciting at the moment to actually see decent tag teams in this
AEW
division.
I'd agree with you,
and I think that that there has to be at least a decent match that will culminate in the transfer of the titles to another team.
Well, as of recording at the moment, it was actually SCU against Sammy and Jericho on AEW this week. So we could be eating our own words, and they could have already changed.
Yep, and Jericho was going for double Le Champion at the time, wasn't it? But I don't know what the results of that just yet. I'm gonna have to check that out in a bit. But
well, I got it recording, but it doesn't tend to show in the UK until Friday night, because I can't find it anywhere in a planner for Wednesday nights.
No,
I can only find it for Fridays.
We're just gonna have to rely on. So if you want the news straight away, we're just gonna have to rely on Twitter, on Twitter and YouTube dirt sheets and things like that.
Well, it's really annoying when you boot up Instagram or Twitter.
And it comes up with straight the results. Yeah, we noticed that with Crown Jewel, didn't you?
Yeah. You turned it up, turned it on. I was like, oh fucking hell.
Yeah.
I knew he was kind of going to win, but still, you don't want to know, even though you know.
No, yeah.
You know?
Anyway, the next match was for the women's championship, which was Riho versus Emi Sakura.
Emi Sakura.
Sorry, yeah, got to get the pronunciation right. Sakura, yes. And Sakura was Riho's trainer as well, wasn't she, in Japan?
Yeah.
And yeah, she does love Freddie Mercury. She comes out dressed as Freddie Mercury. Even has a chant of the "We Will Rock You" and gets the crowd behind him.
And even when she went for the rolling submission surfboard kind of move, she was doing the "Hey!" and the crowd were getting in with that.
Yeah.
Which wasn't. It goes well, but in fairness, about the whole Freddie thing.
I found the start of the match a little bit.
Oh, it was quite sloppy.
It was sloppy, boring, a little bit like that. But it picked up.
Oh, it tightened up very well.
And what I like about Riho is and it was some. It was commentator JR. Yeah, I gotta forget his name. Yeah, JR.
How dare you forget good old JR?
I know. JR like made us aware like, oh, you know, she weighs just 98 pounds, and she's very small, very slender, very supple, and the way that she actually manages to twist and turn herself out of predicaments.
I do like when they get her in the pin and she does.
And she just like arches out of it.
I do like that off Reyvon.
And how she can actually just twist around, and she did actually win the match via a roll up, and that was kind of like how she was twisting and turning and used her suppleness against Emmy. To win the match, but there was quite a few good spots in that match as well. Like I said, it did actually get better throughout.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, it started off slow and a bit sloppy.
Yeah,
but a couple of minutes in,
yeah,
they tightened it up and it was going well.
Yeah,
and the Japanese bring something.
It's very unique, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean, you don't see it as much in maybe the Western style of wrestling, but when you get kicked in the face off the Japanese wrestler, you get fucking kicked in the face.
Yeah.
And that's what I liked about. Was it all in where they had the 4-woman? Yeah. And they were kicking the living shit out of each other.
Now, what I will say about like the Riho as well, she did use like the running kicks quite a lot, and I found it getting a little bit boring because she did it quite a lot in this match.
Still don't do it as much as fucking Kenny Omega.
No, but I don't like to see the same move over and over and over, or a variation of the same move over and over again, and that kind of
killed it a bit for you.
Yeah, that was the biggest disappointment of the match, really, for me. But the finish I liked. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of surprise roll-up finishes a lot of the time, but it fits her. It fits her.
It fits Riho style, being that small against someone who's that more experienced and more powerful.
And just because she is a lot smaller as well, it doesn't mean that she can't pull off suplexes, and she still actually managed to pull off quite a few on Emmy as well.
Yeah.
And it was a great student versus teacher match. It was a very good.
No beat down afterwards.
No, it was it was very respectful. Yeah. And I overall I wasn't a huge fan of the match. It did get better.
I think it had its place, and it placed it well. It was kind of after we've talked about it already, so many matches with so many high spots and fast pace. This brought it down a little bit.
Yeah.
While still showing off the skills of these two women.
Yeah. But what I will say as well is, and this is not regarding the match, it's actually regarding the belt.
It's very tiny.
I hate it. I hate that belt. If you look at the men's belt, it's full of gold. There's hardly any leather showing in it. It makes this belt looks the business. It really does. And when you look at the women's belt, it's just tiny pieces of gold on. I mean, all right, you look at some belts like WWE belt. Yeah, there's a lot of leather in there, but it looks the business.
Well, maybe when they passed it on to somebody else. I mean, human mates used to joke about this for fun. You know, when WCW came into WWE and they brought that belt over.
Yeah.
We always used to joke that there must have been 4 different sizes because one week Triple H would come out and it looked like a belt buckle, and the next week he'd be like, "He's walking out to the ring." We used to joke about the different sizes. It's like, which one shall I pick today? I know the one that cuts my just a belt on his head.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it looks odd because even JR has said when they put the belt on Riho, they had to put new holes in it.
Because even when she's walking down the ramp, you can see a massive bit of the strap hanging out of the back of her.
Maybe it'll look different on somebody else.
No, I just think it's too small.
I do get what you mean. There's a big oval plate.
The proportions are all wrong.
Yeah.
The proportions are all wrong, and I don't think it does the women's division any favours whatsoever. The belt should be bigger, or the plates should be bigger. Make it look as...
Question.
Yes.
That belt, or the stupid Diva Butterfly belt that I think was stupid.
The Diva division. Belt was, I think a lot of the women's division in WWE was quite infuriated and embarrassed by that belt.
The women's championship from the 90s and onward,
Yeah.
was a good belt for the
Yeah, it
women to
was,
have.
yeah.
And then they put this fucking butterfly on, and it's like, that's a good way to discriminate against the women. Make them all butterfly and pretty. It's like, no, they're fucking wrestlers.
Make them a champion.
They've trained their asses off to be wrestlers.
Yeah.
Don't pretty them up by giving them a freaking Divas belt. Give them a women's championship belt.
Yeah. So like,
So the question remains: AEW belt or the Divas belt?
I think just on the sheer look of the belt. The actual like aesthetic of it. I think it would be the AEW.
Definitely.
Because it's less embarrassing.
Yeah.
But overall, I just think. I mean, if you look at the men, like I said, you look at the men's championship belt. You look at the tag team belts. There's loads of gold around it. And then this one, to me, it just looks like an afterthought.
I can see where you're coming from.
If you look at
thinking about it,
if you look at the SmackDown champions, the women's the women's Raw and SmackDown championship belts, they look very similar to the men's Universal and World Heavyweight Championship belt. In fact, I think they're about the same size. And even the NXT Women's Championship belt, that's quite large. There's a lot of gold. This one just looks like a toy.
Isn't it silver as well, the AEW Women's belt? Looks silver.
There might be little bits of it, but it just looks like a toy. It does.
I can see where you're coming from.
It's horrible, and I hope I can't. It's not going to happen anytime soon. But I'm really looking forward to a revision of that title.
Like I said, they might. I think they kind of, as much effort as they put into the tag team and that, I think you're almost right in thinking, oh shit, the women's division, they need a belt.
Yeah.
And they kind of, they should have made it look like the men's belt, but maybe a bit smaller, a bit thinner.
Yeah.
Not, just change the plates on it.
And maybe as well, if you look at like when Reyvon does come out, she doesn't have to wear it. A lot of the guy, a lot of people just bring it over the shoulder. I mean, I remember
makes her look even smaller when she's wearing it.
Well, yeah, I mean, just because she is a small person and the belt is small, and like you said, if you get like a more muscular woman coming out and she's wearing the belt, I still think it's going to look small. If it looks small on Reyvon, it's going to look small on other people as well.
Yeah,
and I don't like it. I'm sorry, AEW.
Change your belt.
I'm really looking forward to the revision of this belt. So that's my rant over for the belt.
3 hours later. Next match. Cody versus Le Champion.
Yeah.
Chris Jericho.
I really love this match.
At the start of this match, I actually made notes saying this is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
At the start of it, before I even wrote anything down, before the video package had even finished, this is going to be awesome.
Yeah, this is going to be great.
And I was not disappointed.
No.
Even in the match, I mean, I still don't know whether it was a blade job.
I don't think it was. I genuinely don't think it was.
I think Cody, that's it. When he went over and he did it, I thought, that's a freaking deep blade job. But when he showed the replay and he just whacked his head into the thing, I was like, he did that intentionally. Which, again, on the replay, it does not show him doing anything.
I don't think he went to cut himself intentionally. I think he went to genuinely miss the move.
Well, no, I think Cody's of that mindset, thinking, I'm going to jump, because the ramp itself, you could see the bumps on it. You knew if you were hitting that head on, you were going to get cut.
A lot of that's just for grip, though, isn't it? The bumps.
You take your head to it, though.
I'm not saying.
You know what I mean?
I'm not saying that. I just don't think the bumps are designed just to rip your head open.
No, I'm not saying they're designed to, but I'm saying the bumps are there. And Cody didn't even try to put his hands up. Really, he just took it on.
I'm gonna have to watch this again and watch it a number of times. But I personally think that he did purposely go to miss it or whatever.
Yeah.
But I just don't think he meant to clock his head in the way that he clocked his head.
I think he did. I think he thought it's almost Cody-like mentality.
Oh,
take one for the team.
Yeah, of course. I mean? No, I understand that completely, and
I
do believe that at one point there were going to be blood in this match.
Oh yeah.
But I just don't think, for me, that was the way it was going to happen. Just the sheer look of the cut above his eye.
It was deep.
And the depth of the cut as well. Usually when you see blading in any wrestling events, it's just a nice slice. It's a cut, isn't it?
Well, that's where you bleed the most.
Yeah,
damage.
It is. You don't see cuts above the eye unless it's accidental.
Yeah.
You don't see cuts anywhere else unless it's accidental or unless it's in like the next match, if it's a death match or something like that, where blood is expected to come pretty much in any.
No, it wasn't a death match. It was
You know what I mean. You know what I mean. But yeah, it's things like that. But yeah, the match.
I want to see Chris Jericho stop using the lion salt. I can't remember the last time he bloody hit the lion salt without someone getting the knees up or them moving or something.
Yeah. No.
Jericho, stop. It's a great move, but you don't work, man. Stop it.
Yeah, I just thought again this was great. They had a lot of like classic spots with Jericho. You know, he
Cody's mum slapping him.
Yeah, that was brilliant. Even Cody pulling out the bionic elbow and having a bit of a groove, like great Dusty Rhodes.
Cody's mum slapped him, but when Jericho went back against the barricade, did you see his mum reaching over and giving him another couple of slaps?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna have to watch that again.
Well, Cody holds him, doesn't he? And he's gonna give him a slap.
Right.
And it's like, I'd say maybe less than a minute after that, Jericho's up against the barricades leaning. Fucking Cody's mum's like, I'd lean over, give him another couple of slaps. I thought that was good. She was into it.
Now, there was a bit of a controversial bit in this match as well, which I thought was a bit really, really silly. And it was the use of the weight belt. It was when I think it was Jericho using the weight belt. And this was not a non-disqualification match. This was not a no-holds-barred match. This was...
but it's always up to the ref's discretion.
It is, and I just thought it was very, very silly. I don't like seeing that unless there's a referee turned and what's happened?
Yeah, but
right in front of the referee. I don't like that. I'm sorry. I'm not a huge fan of that.
I didn't mind it, and... I actually remember flinching. It's like the second or third shot that Jericho does on Cody, and you can hear that echo.
Yeah.
I remember going, ooh.
Yeah, we're not talking about any like. I remember when Hogan used to do that quite a lot in WCW, and
we ain't talking love taps.
You can see the welts when he did it, but these were
was brutal.
Yeah, these were ridiculous.
But that's like I said, second to third one where it just got echoes around. I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
Even my back was starting to give it a bit
Yeah,
after that.
I know. I did flinch quite a few times watching that. But no, I wasn't a huge fan of that section. Unless it was behind the referee's back. I don't like any referee's discretion. I think in any case like that, you have to be fair.
Yeah, I can see where you come from. A match is a match. Stop altering it just because it's a big match.
Yeah. We know it's kayfabe, and we know it's all scripted and stuff like that. But who's to say that another guy will say, "Well, you did that for you did that for Jericho.
Why not let me do it?
Why not let me do it? Yeah. Why not let me get away with it?" And then you start like a bit of a. I know. I'm reading too much into it. I know I'm reading too much.
Back in the old days before kayfabe. What the hell, Raf?
Yeah. But
I thought the Judas Effect counter into the Crossroads was good as well.
Yeah, that was great move.
Yeah. And the way the match ended.
Yeah. Now,
the kick heard round the world.
When Jericho pulled off that inverted Boston Crab, there was Jericho.
Lion Tamer.
Lion Tamer. It was just a standard Boston Crab at one point, but then later on, he did actually arch it back like he used to do in WCW.
When the neck is pinned.
Yeah.
Well, he used to do that in the WWE for a long while, but
then they changed it.
Changed it to a Boston
Crab, and it was just like it's a bit. But then, and it's the way that
he's
Cody's
proper leaning down into it.
His body almost distorted into a C, into a letter C, but backwards. Not forward. His back, his neck, everything was going forward. And at that point, when MJF threw in the towel, and that resulted in.
Well, you could see Cody was going nowhere. Jericho, even to me, even if it wasn't an MJF throwing the towel in, and that was as it was going to be. That was. Remember when they used to have the submission matches, and it wasn't tap out; it was more or less pass out. And I think Jericho made a few people pass out to it. I thought that's the way the match was going. Cody wasn't going to tap.
Yeah.
Wasn't going to surrender. Wasn't going to get pinned. he was going to pass out.
Yeah.
I thought that's the way Jericho was going to win it, by pass out. And then I saw MJF with the towel in the bottom corner, and I thought, oh, he's going to throw the towel in because Cody's going nowhere.
Yeah. But that at the end of the match there, you saw the true colours coming through from MJF.
We all knew it was coming.
We all knew that. I mean, as soon as I saw him coming out at the start of the televised shows when the Inner Circle was first announced.
There was that question of his loyalty.
Yeah, to and the thing is, MJF is a great heel, and automatically he's coming out and automatically all of a sudden he's this face, and you're like, this isn't him. This is not him whatsoever. What is he doing? You know this, and then eventually he's showing his true colours. Quick kick to the dick and
dick kick.
A dick kick, and then just walks out, and all right.
The kick heard round the world. It was good. Oh, that fan,
the fan threw orange juice or something at him.
Yeah, beer or something.
And then it just walks out. I mean,
that's like the old days of being a heel that we had to kind of get out of the arena before you were killed.
Yeah, ECW, they used to throw everything, didn't they?
Well, even in the old days, going back to listening to Jim Cornette, when he's on about the old days, if you were a heel, like in the 70s, 80s, a lot of the heels had weapons on them because they would get jumps off the fans.
I remember watching
I never knew it was that bad.
No, I remember watching an old BBC 3 documentary on the old English wrestling scene, British wrestling scene, back when Big Daddy and Giant Haystacks and Kendo Nagasaki were the big names. And these heels would be walking through the crowd, and women would be hitting them with handbags and everything like that, and they were seen as proper villains.
Yeah.
Even they couldn't walk down the street without having this on.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, listen to Jim Cornette, some of them had guns, knives, and everything.
Yeah.
We've got to protect ourselves because as soon as we get out the arena, the crowd come out, they're going to try and get us.
Yeah.
And they used to get in the cars and just get out of state. But yeah.
So at the end of that match, we had Jericho winning the match. I mean, there was a section in there with Jake Hager being ejected from for interrupting as well. But now Cody,
he's friendless.
He cannot.
No.
Challenge for the AEW.
I was wondering about that. He can't challenge, but what if somebody down the line gets roped into bringing him into a match? Will that still count?
I don't know.
Neither do I.
I don't know. We're gonna have to watch and wait and see, because we do know that like retirement matches mean nothing these days, do they? So I used to say that that's not going to mean anything.
And then that brings us on to
the main event.
You see, when I was watching this, I thought, why the hell did they put Jericho and Cody second to last match? Now I fucking understand.
Yeah. Now,
holy shit!
There has been a lot of controversy with this match because, especially, I've been.
How are they not fucking dead? Is what I want to know.
I watched a lot of things on like What Culture and Wrestle Talk and a few other people, and it's been controversial. Some people love it, some people like it, some people are trying to defend it, and I urge you to go and watch their videos and see their reactions on things as well. And I totally understand where they are coming from.
It's
totally
a match
understand
we've not
it.
Seen in a
we haven't. No, we've not seen this sort of match since either like ECW or any of the hardcore matches.
I mean, you get a lot of this kind of stuff on the indie circuit, like CZW and things like that.
And also in Japan.
Yeah, but this is more American mainstream TV, worldwide mainstream TV. It's not some. I don't want to call CZW a backyard promotion, but it's not. It's not a backyard promotion, but it's a lesser known promotion.
Probably in comparison.
Yeah, it's a lesser known one.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about the top three, top three, personally, I think Ring of Honor, AEW, WWE. TNA, meh.
It's gone down a little bit.
A lot, yeah. But again, CZW, I won't put in the top three of mainstream wrestling shows.
No.
That kind of violence that we saw in that.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I fucking can't stand Kenny Omega. But that match,
you've got to give him his due, haven't you?
I'm not taking anything away from his fucking ability, or him or Moxley's ability to take pain, or freaking carry on with the shit that they went through.
Yeah.
I don't like the character, but the guy is a wrestler. Can't fucking follow him at all.
Yeah, there were sections in that match with the glass from the table, which
in the mouth, and then the V trigger.
Yeah, well, that was the table that Moxley DDT'd Kenny Omega through on AEW Dynamite. I think a week or two beforehand. So used that glass, smashed it up. There was a lot of backdrops onto it. There was.
I actually thought that was going to be a bag of thumbtacks.
Thumbtacks. That's what I thought. As soon as
the thumbtacks
are out, and it was glass or sugar glass in it. I don't know if it's real glass or what, but
it did cut.
It did cut. It did cut. Yeah.
Maybe.
There was a board full of mousetraps.
That was just jackass, really, wasn't it?
I mean, half of that board, half of the mousetraps on that board were used, the other half weren't. So I was kind of expecting another backdrop onto it to kind of use them all, which kind of disappointed me in that sense. But
when they got it out the ring, Moxley was walking round, and he's walking on the board, and you can still hear the mousetrap going. So he must have been like, motherfucking.
But there were sections as well where Moxley pulled out the barbed wire, the Barbie, and
Moppy with a Moppy, the pissed off Moppy.
Yeah, full of barbed wire, both
scraping it over the backs and stuff. That was pretty good.
Table sections as well, where there was a drop through a table.
And we've got to mention the spiderweb.
And we do have to mention the spiderweb.
Holy crap, man!
That was so bad that they had to get help getting out.
Well, when they were stood at the back and Kenny's there going, "Bring it out," and they're all like, "No." I was like, "Oh, come on, man! It can't be that fucking bad."
No.
And then they relented and brought it out. I went, "Holy crap! It is that bad."
And they were gonna, Kenny Omega was gonna drop the one winged angel
on it
through it, and it was reversed
into something much worse.
Into a suplex. Shit. At first, though, when they actually hit the barbed wire, I honestly thought I could see blood dropping through the bottom. Then there might have been a little bit of blood because it was through there, but it was just because it said AEW underneath and the.
I have to rewatch that.
No, the look of the lettering, it's kind of broken up a little bit.
Yeah.
So because part of the lettering was a bit darker, I thought that was blood. Now there might be a bit of blood there. I'm not entirely sure. But I just thought I saw blood oozing out of it, and I thought, oh, that's really cool. But it probably turned out that it wasn't. But after that, they were.
And then Kenny Omega nearly taking his own head off going through that.
Yeah, the lighting.
Yeah. Doing the yet again another fucking V trigger.
Yeah.
Through it. And see, again, it brings me back to the guy. His facial expressions fucking do my tree in, and the fact every 2 moves V trigger.
Yeah.
You've got a set of moves that you can do.
Mm-hmm.
Use them. Stop using the same.
I think this is again what I was saying about Riho. She was using the kicks quite a lot, and I didn't really like that. But and you're pretty much saying the same thing about Kenny Omega.
Yeah, and then they go to the ring, and when Moxley was walking around, and you'll notice on this that Moxley swears a hell of a lot.
Oh yeah,
straight to the camera.
Yeah, it's not the live. Normal terrestrial broadcast of television in the US because you can't say any F-bombs on their TV.
Well, Moxley's are going, let's kill this motherfucker.
But if it comes through to like pay-per-views and things like that, I think it's kind of relaxed a little bit.
But yeah, cutting the ropes off the ring to expose the business.
Whole mat, yeah.
Expose the freaking planks underneath, and I was like, what the hell is going to go on here?
There was suplexes and things like that, and eventually
one-winged angel on it.
No, they were going for one. They were going for one, but then Moxley pulled off his finisher.
Kenny Omega using the paradigm shift on Moxley.
Yep, that's true. Yeah. But then, as you can see, the mat, it has maybe about an inch of padding. It doesn't take much.
No, the mat.
If not anything, I think it's really just to protect the wood.
Everyone always says when it comes to wrestling, oh yeah, it was a big trampoline.
It's not.
It might be a bit. It might feel and sound like a big trampoline, but it's fucking not.
But the wood underneath it's still about an inch or two thick, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you still
4x2s or something like that.
You still are relatively landing on a really thick piece of wood.
Yeah, there's not much.
You might as well in some cases just land on the wood.
Well, yeah, I mean that's a prime example for those who don't know much about the business and things like that, and they think it's some kind of big trampoline. That goes to show Moxley ripping it up. I'd say you didn't have 4 or 5 inch of protection, maybe 3 to 4 inch of protection, and then it's the big wood. Then it's the big things.
Yeah.
You don't have much.
No.
And these guys are taking. Especially after this match, where they'd already done whatever you could think of, and then they rip it up and carry on in the corner on the exposed wood.
Yeah.
It's just like taking it on a normal piece of wood yourself.
There was also one thing that we forgot to mention. It was either the screwdriver or
I think
ice pick.
Was it an ice pick?
I'm not sure.
Well, even the commentators didn't know if it was an ice pick.
No, and no, I don't think we either did. And there were sections where Moxley went in for, I think he tried stabbing him at one point.
And then Moxley got
and Kenny Omega tried like etching his head, but I don't think anything happened there. I think it was more of a scratch more than a cut.
He did cut along his head, but I didn't notice. I think he was trying to do what like a televised blade job.
Yeah, it was nothing major, was it? No. I mean, there were blood in there. There was plenty of blood in there, but it wasn't like a complete like bloodbath.
No, it wasn't a bloodbath.
No, there were sections with the glass. You had to crawl. Moxley were crawling through the glass, being dragged through. I can't remember who was being dragged through the glass.
I think didn't Omega drag him through it and then turned him over and got him in a submission.
And he had to crawl through. That might have been it. Yeah. But as controversial as this match is, I loved it. It's something that I haven't seen for such a long time. Now, there has been 3 of these matches so far in AEW. Maybe not do them as often, because in my opinion, I don't want to see it all the time.
You don't want to go into that, again, you don't want to go into that realm of being a hardcore CZW, ECW kind of more televised thing. As good as those matches are now and then, you don't want to be linked with that kind of thing, because that more or less people might just start turning off, and you don't want to turn off.
No, and the biggest thing for me as well is these matches do actually shorten careers as well, and the thing is, I want to see these guys perform for as long as possible.
Especially Moxley.
Another guy from WWE is now being used to his full potential and given a little bit more creative control. I loved him in WWE, but it was just that case,
undervalued, underused.
Yeah.
He was good in the Shield, and then when he went out on his own as what was his tagline on it? I've forgotten now. It's not like the Unchained or something.
Oh, the I
forgot now. But again, it was that.
Yeah.
It wasn't memorable.
No.
Whereas this, it's like the unsanctioned freaking John Moxley.
Yeah. Oh, do you know what? You've got me really thinking now.
See, I can't even think of it.
No.
I was thinking about it earlier. I can't even remember. Unhinged, was it?
They did call him Unhinged at some point, but it wasn't really his tagline. It was something else.
See, we can't remember it.
No.
Underused, undervalued.
Yeah, definitely.
I want to see these guys go on to more.
Yeah.
And I want to see Kenny Omega stop pulling the stupid fucking faces and using the V trigger every 2 seconds.
Yeah.
It's not a video game where you fucking spam it all the time.
No.
You've got a great moveset. You're a great fucking athlete. You're a great wrestler. Use it.
Yeah.
Fucking go to town. They've given you a platform here where you're like one of the biggest guys there.
The Lunatic Fringe.
That's it.
Yeah. Right. So,
again, great fucking PPV.
Altogether, one of the best pay-per-views we've seen this year.
In the last few years, personally.
Yeah.
Easily.
And again, as controversial as that last match was, to me it wasn't. I loved it. I loved every second of it. I loved almost every second of this pay-per-view. Like I said, there were a couple of points that we they could have improved on a little bit, but altogether it shows that the company is going in the right direction.
Definitely.
And it makes me want to watch even more pay-per-views, a lot more of their weekly television, and to invest a lot more of my time into this promotion.
Well, that's it. I mean, I missed out on some of last week's Dynamite just because I was busy, so I'm halfway through Dynamite from last week before the pay-per-view. I'll have Dynamite this week. I'm more inclined to watch this than even watch WWE, especially when one of my favourite wrestlers has just returned.
Yeah.
I'm more inclined. I was like, well, yeah, but look at this. This is what you need to do. That's where Punk should have gone.
Yeah. I think a lot of people will be saying that, but
Punk's about the money, and they would have gone, here's a big wad of cash.
At the moment, as it stands, I think Punk's more being paid by Fox rather than WWE. But we know as
He did say he won't have a contract with WWE.
But from what happens with things like the 2K games, that's brought back Sting, it's brought back Goldberg, it's even brought back
Warrior.
in a case, Warrior. I think even in some cases like Rey Mysterio, because I think he was even a download book, a DLC character at one point, and he came back at the Rumble.
Well, he was out for a long time
due
to surgeries and going on the indie shows for a while.
Yeah.
But again, with this being with Fox, Punk might get the. It might give
him the push.
We could be seeing a Royal Rumble entry here.
And if that happens, then
number 30.
As much as I'd love to see that, as much as that's going to be great, I think I'm going to be slightly disappointed in a sense, because I think this would have worked out so much better if he wasn't announced on Fox for the back and just come back at the Rumble. The whole thing would have been amazing.
Yeah, but if you think about it, they could keep him only commentating on this backstage thing, and then even though who's going to be number 30, as soon as Cult of Personality hits, that place will just freaking go nuts. Doesn't matter that he's in it. They're not expecting him to be in the ring. No,
but that's what I mean though. It would have been an even bigger pop if he wasn't part of, because I think now a lot of people might expect it to see him more.
Yeah, but again, they might hold out.
Who
knows?
But
again, that's WWE.
Yeah.
We don't know what the hell Vince is thinking half the time. But I'm liking the way AEW's going.
Definitely.
I want more.
Yeah.
AEW.
So that's our recap.
Wrestling recap.
Of AEW Full Gear.
Any idea what the next one's called?
I don't think it's been announced just yet. I'm not entirely sure, but
either way, when
we'll be doing that as well.
Much excitement for that one.
Definitely.
If this one's anything to go by, I think certain scores haven't been settled. Certain things have just started. Because what we've got to remember, it is it's like a freaking baby company. There's no, unless you're familiar with all the indie circuit stuff, these rivalries to us are new. We don't know. So they're going in little steps.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, these are setting up the rivalries. It could go on for years.
Yeah. And I'm really excited for that as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, that's our recap for Full Gear. If you do like what we do here at the EGW, the Endgamers Wrasslin, EGW, whatever we want to call us, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell.
1, 2, 3.
The win. Leave comments in the comment section below, and until next time, I'm going to elbow this fucker.
Dude.